This would be the first summer that I ever spent in the desert. The summer of 2005. I learned you don't know shit about heat until you've been to Tombstone in July. I couldn't resist a visit to the famous OK Corral. Someone actually passed out that day watching the gunfight reenactment. I had to get a photo with these guys. It was the Earp Brothers, Doc Holliday, and me. Legends. I drove back to Phoenix that evening, and all sorts of hell was breaking loose. Sean was demonstrating how to breathe fire, and a poker game was just about to begin. It was about this time that I met my buddy Ryan, pictured on the far right in the blue shirt. Ryan and I quickly became friends, and one day we decided to fly over to San Diego together. We flew into Montgomery Field, ate some Dungeness crab, and then checked out Mission Beach. After a fun day on the beach, Ryan and I jumped in the Cadet and flew back to Phoenix. I was headed back to Minnesota for the remainder of the summer, so the guys took me out for one last hurrah to Hooters on Mill Avenue in Tempe. My plan was to drive Bill back to Minnesota that summer, but a direct route would simply not do. Out of Phoenix, we headed straight west to California and grabbed the coastline and headed north. Driving the Pacific Coast Highway is one of the travel highlights in my life. It seemed like endless beauty and boats galore. The entire drive was warm and relaxing and unlike anything I had ever seen. As I entered Oregon, I headed to the Evergreen Aviation Museum to see the one and only spruce goose. I am a big fan of the Beechcraft Starship, and who can deny their love for the BD-5? Then it was on to Seattle. I had seen a Concorde fly at Oshkosh in 1998, but this was my first opportunity to go inside and have a look around. I have never passed by an opportunity to see a Blackbird, my all-time favorite aircraft. Then onward through the mountains of Idaho and Montana. Across the plains of the Dakotas, I entered Minnesota and returned home. Something very strange was happening on Bel Air Drive. There seemed to be a mix of emotions among family members. My parents were saying goodbye to the house we all grew up in on Bel Air Drive. They built it in the early 70s and it raised 4 children. They had a good run. They did well. We are so grateful for the childhood that was created for us, and we will never forget our house on Bel Air Drive. Brad happened to be there that day and served as our photographer. He snapped this beautiful photo of our family in the summer of 2005. My childhood dog Cody was beginning to get old. Though slowing down a bit, there was still nothing more exciting to that dog than getting on the boat. I dropped the boat in the St. Croix River and headed out for a little camping weekend with my dog. Miss you, Code. Then shit got really crazy. The rest of this summer was an absolute blur to me. Sometimes I exhaust myself, but not usually.